Do you like the free flow?
I do like the free flow.
Welcome to the Ash and Burnz Podcast. Two guys don't know what we're talking about, but come along for the ride. We talk about politics, religion, sex, video games, movies, pop culture, conspiracies, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoots, and
anything and everything.
That's right, Ash and Burnz Podcast.
Rolled up into a big juicy burrito. What's it taste of?
Check, microphone check.
Very hard chair.
Yeah. Just whining, bitching,
No
whining, bitch.
love for the star.
Talent.
And he got a fan on me tonight.
You want a fan?
No.
Oh, could say
I
something
do.
bad down here. The fan didn't come through last.
Yeah, I heard.
It was real good, though, wasn't
Yeah.
it? We can do it again.
Can we?
Yeah, for you, my star.
Oh, how sweet.
Of course.
How sweet.
Oh shit!
And that's all, folks. He done hurt himself. You don't have to have it on high.
You know, someone have a knob, something to twerk on fingers.
No, put it on medium. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, every time he did that, it was popping.
Popping. That was
In
my finger
in my
popping.
headset. Like power popping.
Yeah, so be it.
If it bursts into flames, it's just your
You
house.
just put it out. It's yeah.
It's your house. I'll
Yeah.
just go home to mine. Y'all just sleep out
Yeah.
on the street.
It'll be fine. Well, I'll probably get so much bitching on my back. It'd be, I'd be like, well, we're homeless. What are you going to bitch about now?
Yeah,
Sweep the curb?
that's right.
Anyway, so we was here last Friday. Lots happened since then.
Yeah.
We just got done eating. You eat pork chops. I ate chicken.
I ate a little chicken too.
A little chicken,
Yeah,
some
I
good
love
potatoes,
chicken.
and I had a Hawaiian roll.
Yeah.
And I'm full. I ate too much again, like every Friday.
And pizza pie, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten so last Friday podcast, and then the next day, last Saturday, I went ghost hunting, and I was out in Montgomery County all day. Right?
Did you stay there and nap like I suggested?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. That dude was awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went at 6. I got there at 10:30. I filmed the house, took pictures of the house, went inside the house, did a little solo investigation. Everybody left. I did solo investigation. I went out in the car. I put down the seat and napped. It's a beautiful day, wind blowing, sunshine. Found a shade tree, parked underneath it, and took naps.
Yeah.
And then about 6 o'clock, we went into town, into Mount Gilead, town near Troy, and went to a pizza restaurant, about the only pizza restaurant there.
Yeah.
Amber, apparently she listens to the podcast as well, because it was the worst service and worst food I've ever had.
Even worse than the Mexican.
Yes. Let me start from the beginning.
Uh-oh.
So we get there, and we're early, waiting for the rest of the team to show up. So I go outside, and instead of sitting in the parking lot, I sit on their patio. Nobody's there. We're the only people in the whole restaurant. So we're sitting outside on our patio, and she walks down and goes, y'all eating? Y'all waiting for a menu? And I was like, no, man, we're just waiting for the rest of the people to get here. She's like, oh, okay. No problem there. Get in the restaurant, we get seated. Dr. Pepper, sweet tea. Everybody got the drinks, right? And then we ordered. One appetizer came out. Guy ordered garlic knots. Bunch of them. They're stale. Garlic knots. So I ate 2 of them, right? I had some garlic knots. Yeah, I ate because a bunch of them. People got cheeseburgers. 2 people got cheeseburgers. 2 people got strombolis. I got a pizza, medium pizza. Ordered the stromboli, and she's like, "Oh, we're out of mushrooms, sir." And he's like, "Oh, no mushrooms." She's like, "Yeah, we don't have mushrooms." It happens.
Yeah.
Somebody else ordered something. Well, we're low on that, but I'll see if I can put it in there. And I'm like, "Can I get a pineapple pepperoni pizza?" She's like, "We ain't got much pineapple." I said, "Okay, well, how about make half of it pineapple pepperoni, make the other half hamburger and onions?" And she goes, "Okay, ham and onions." And I said, "No, hamburger and onions, half of it."
Yeah.
No problem.
Like Like a hamburger or pizza.
Hamburger pizza. Yeah, I like others are pretty good.
Yeah.
I just settle for sausage, but I just was feeling hamburger. So 30 minutes, not a long time to wait. Cheeseburgers come out, Stromboli comes out, right? And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay. An hour goes by, hour and 15 minutes, and still no pizza. My drink ran out. She never came. She kept walking by our table, and my drink was like this. So I got up, walked behind the bar, and started filling my own drinks up, but the thing wasn't working. And I was like, well, piss. And so I'll just sit here and not get anything. Finally, she filled it. And I'm still sitting there. They're done eating. Everybody's done eating. I'm like, I guess I'm not getting a pizza. Finally, she brings the pizza out. And I'm like,
Cooking one thing at a time, man.
I guess so. I said, go ahead and bring me the go box. She's like, okay. I took a bite of the pizza. No lie. It was cheese, pineapple, and pepperoni. No pizza sauce.
Ran out of that. They ran out.
I took a bite and I was like, hang on. I set it back down. I started like pushing the cheese side. No pizza sauce at all.
That's what makes it a pizza.
She walked by and I said, I don't want this. She goes, wrong. I said, well, first it's ham, not hamburger, like I told you. I said, and it has no pizza sauce. She went, yeah, it does. I said, pizza sauce is red. This has no pizza sauce on it. I don't want it. Take it back. So she takes it back. And I'm like, well, thank God I had the garlic knots, right? Whatever. So anyway,
The two.
so we all get up and leave. And I walked up and I'm like, I guess I'm paying for a Dr. Pepper. She said, okay, that'd be $2.50. And I was like, okay. So I pulled a 20 out. I was going to pay for my Dr. Pepper. Oh, I don't have change to break that 20.
Ooh.
I said, oh, okay. Well, I'll pay by card. That'd be $3.
Yeah.
I was like,
Credit card fee.
you could just be a free Dr. Pepper. I said, because it
Nope.
no. So I paid $3 and like 15 cents for a Dr. Pepper.
As you should.
Yeah. And then I walked out and I went, I'm gonna go back in there. So I went back in there and said, can I get a receipt for that? Yeah. So it was poor piss service. I never got my food. The food wasn't right. It wasn't even cooked like a pizza. Pizza place too.
Yeah.
Didn't have no pizza sauce on it. And then it didn't have change. They didn't have mushrooms. It had hardly any pineapple. And I was just like, God bless. And that's the second time I ate there. First time was just as bad.
Then why'd y'all go back?
I don't know. I thought maybe it was just me. And it is just me again. I'm never coming back here again. Never come back to this place in Mount Gilead
Yeah.
pizza restaurant. Never. Pitiful.
I had something this week, but it wasn't that bad. It was just I went to City Barbecue. Trying to tell you.
Oh, you're dropping names, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, that was Luna's Pizza in Mount Gilead I went to. But go ahead.
Yeah.
City Barbecue.
City Barbecue in Greensboro. Ordered the 2 meat sampler with 2 sides. I got my collard greens and okra, and then I got the pulled pork and the Bama pulled chicken, just because it comes with this white Bama sauce, really good with chicken. And I told the guy while I was ordering, I know it says on there that it comes with toast. I'm low carb. I was like, I don't need toast. You can just save your toast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would like an unsweet tea. Well, he handed me an empty cup. Okay, he's got a drink machine over there. All right, cool. Walk up, pay for it, walk over there. I put ice in. I look, sweet tea, lemonade, unsweet tea.
Right.
Unsweet tea, filled it up, put a lid on it, got all my sauces, all that, called my name. I go out to my truck because I always get to go. I don't eat inside. So I always just eat my truck. Took a sit, get out of my truck, lock the door, roll my window down.
You're set up.
I'm set
you
up.
Got a rhythm.
I got my
thing.
phone out. I got it on something on YouTube. About to hit play. Take my unsweet tea and take a sip of sweet tea. They had sweet tea in the unsweet tea thing.
How hard is that?
Exactly.
How hard is that?
Exactly.
Did you add sugar? Oh, I don't know. Just put it in unsweet tea.
Yeah.
How about tasting it?
Yeah. I don't get it. But anyway, so then I was like, you know what? Fine. Can't do it.
Can't drink that sugar water.
No.
Yeah.
So, no, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't get out to my truck. While I was waiting on it, I took a sip. I walked right over to this way. Yeah. Walked over to the drink fountain, poured it out, got new ice, and I was like, Sweet tea, lemonade, unsweet or sweet tea. I was like, Coke. I'll get lemonade.
You should try the sweet tea. It might have been unsweet.
I don't know.
Lemonade. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So I got lemonade, and I was like, yeah, lemonade. Put it on there. I get out to my truck, sip it, and then I was like, it dawned on me, lemonade's got a bunch of sugar in it.
I wasn't going to tell you that.
Yeah. I was like, all right, that was on me. That's on me. Get out my vegetables. I eat my collard green and my okra. Pull out the meat tray. Toast right in the middle of it.
Why?
They just wasting toast, homie.
We should have done is dunked it in that sweet lemonade and
just ate it.
throw it at them.
Thought
You need like a girlfriend like me.
Yeah.
He didn't order this. You need to fix this.
I did end up eating one bite of the toast.
Oh,
but I
you
wouldn't have ate
son
it.
of a.
I wouldn't have ate it if you'd have listened to me and not put it in there. But so apparently it's not just like certain areas, and this guy was not a young guy. He's a millennial, probably in his 30s, young 30s.
Service was great, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, they were nice and said hello, but I told the dude specific things, and he was just like, beep, 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 beep. Didn't even acknowledge us saying something, just ringing it in. I'm just another cow in the line.
Yeah, hurry up, man. I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah.
Well, me, the wife, and the boy went to a Mexican restaurant Wednesday in Walkertown. Mia Pueblo or Rio Grande? I think it's Rio Grande. Some old short.
Oak Ridge?
No, right out there in Walkertown, near the Roses Food Line.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think it's Rio Grande. And we went out there to eat. And short Hispanic guy, hardly any teeth. Boy, he was on point. He didn't write nothing down too.
But he got it.
Perfect, dude. Perfect. Drinks were always filled, checking on us. I was like, my man.
Yeah,
Left
that's
him
how
a
it should
good tip. Because it's been a while since I've had good service like that. It's just an older, short, stout waiter, Mexican waiter, and he had no teeth hardly. And he's just like, yeah, good. I was like, yeah. Thank you. Brought my extra taco out. I wanted extra taco.
Yeah.
Brought the cheese dips out fast.
Not everybody's bad then.
Huh?
I just don't understand the work ethic with people anymore.
I can pretty much look at a waiter and go, oh, piss.
Yeah.
Well, this guy rolled up. I was like, oh, yeah. He just there with just like this, and just listen to our order. No problem.
Maybe that's a lot of restaurants' things now. Instead of having somebody sitting there writing, they're looking at you.
Maybe.
To create that personal touch and connection.
I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Like, I go to the Rancho, and these ladies, they're just like, yeah, what you want, honey? And write everything down. Yeah. And then my ticket comes, has everything wrote on it, and I'm like, right on.
It's the most efficient way.
Yeah.
I get it.
But this week it's been 50-50. I haven't ate out much. I've ate out more recently than I have in a long time. But I went out with the boy Wednesday, and it was horrible. Last Saturday in Mount Gilead was horrible.
Yeah.
And
well, I just don't understand this day and age.
How hard is it?
Well, I've never been per se a waiter, but it can't be that hard. It can't be that hard.
Well, I'll say this.
I've been the order taker for
Yeah.
Arby's. I used to be the cashier at Arby's, take people's order. I just pushed the button, whatever they said. I didn't try to.
I've had worse service the last since COVID. I've had the worst service since COVID that I've had all my life.
Yeah.
Do you remember during the bad allergy COVID, how all restaurants weren't, like nobody was working? It was ghost town. Like you go to McDonald's and there's like one person working.
It was either that or you were required to wear a mask as you walked in, but then when you sat down, you could take it off. Yeah, because the 2 or 3 foot difference of you standing up and sitting down was totally different.
It's like the smoking section back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like that smoke is coming over here.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Yeah.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it's just been horrible since.
But hey, you were wanting to talk about them Samsqanches, wasn't you?
Oh, so I sent you, all of a sudden, there's pictures coming out left and right of Samsqanches. And you got the pictures, you can show the camera. And what I'll do is I'll pop up on the screen too in editing. But can you pull them up and show the camera, and we'll talk about each one?
Yeah, this very first one.
That. Okay.
Are you going to edit this and put the
Yeah,
pictures
put
in?
the
Okay.
picture
Well,
up.
then why am I showing it to that?
Because it helps me keep track of which ones we're talking about.
Okay. Now I looked at this one, and for one, all of it to me looks like a gorilla because of the pointy head.
I thought that too, but the legs are too long to be a gorilla.
Yes, but then I noticed the foot, the bottom of the foot, that looks like the bottom of a shoe.
Let me look at that.
The way it's like the heel part of the shoe is all round, and then it has a line cuts right through. Like it's a modified shoe.
Oh, Lord. That's a good eye, dude. I didn't think of that. That does. What does the other foot look like?
Well, he's standing on it. But the bottom of his foot as it comes up, it looks like a shoe, like a modified shoe to me. Now, I could be wrong, but this is just, it looks like a gorilla that was either AI or photoshopped to have longer legs. Plus, what's his waist and belly looking like? It looks like he's twisted, but yet he's looking.
He's like looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have twisted that back. That's got some rolls in it. Like, I don't know. I just don't.
I agree with that first picture. I wasn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's too good, too perfect.
The second picture.
That one, dude.
That is a gorilla.
That's just a gorilla. It's
That's a gorilla. That is definitely a gorilla. Up somewhere, up setting something.
The differences between the different Sasquatch species is too varied, I believe.
Yeah. And now this one, I zoomed in a little bit.
Now that looks like, that's either, it's not a bear, I don't think. Look at the legs. Looks like a picture of a chimpanzee or something.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Samsqanch per se. It looks like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Or and now
the legs just look too long.
Like looks like a real hairy gorilla, even though I know they got pretty short hair. But I these are just gorillas to me, man. Like
that one I think is most Sasquatchish because it's totally erect and the legs are long. And, but the hair on it is extremely long. But that looks like almost too perfect as a picture as well.
And then the face.
I don't know about that. There's two pictures of that same one. That's the best one. Those always turn sideways. What do you think of that
Around
one?
the eyes, it looks like a mask. And you could tell the detail right around.
Ooh, let me see that. I didn't pay attention to that.
Like it's just a little bit like it's disconnected. Not disconnected where there's like a gap, but it looks like in The Walking Dead when they make like the zombie heads, and it's got that little extra little dip in right at the eye.
I agree. It looks like it's
for the.
It doesn't look like it's alive.
Yeah, it's like a prosthetic.
It looks prosthetic because look, they're symmetrical on both sides.
Yeah, and then no, that just doesn't look real to me. That doesn't look.
What was that? I think it's one of a thumb or something.
Yeah, and the thumb. I mean, without me holding it in my hand, I could probably carve that out of wood and paint it to look realistic. So I mean,
that's a good looking nail. See how square that bottom is? It's not round. It's like 90-degree angle straight across.
Like I said, it's like it's carved out of wood.
Look at ours. It kind of got a eclipse to it. Well, mine does.
Yeah. I'm just saying, and also if that's a finger or a toe, that is compared to the dude's hand, I would think that would be extremely just slightly too bigger.
Maybe
it's bigger than what. I know they're supposed to be huge creatures, but I mean, Shaquille O'Neal's thumb ain't that big in somebody's hand, and he's
so. Which one out of all those you think is possibly real? You think that gray one? That looks like a bear to me. But then again, look at that ankle. Yeah, I think it's a bear.
I would say this would be some kind of monkey. Oh, over in like, not a monkey like a little monkey, but one of those like bigger primates, but not, they're like human-sized primates.
Is that a paw on the back and front foot, or is that a hand and a foot? I can't tell.
It looks like the left foot and the right hand.
Yeah.
down.
So you think it looks like a hand and a foot?
Yeah, a foot and then the hand.
Well, also look at the width of that arm. It's about the size of my arm, my forearm. Right?
Yeah, roughly.
I think it's a monkey.
That's why I say it'd be a little bit larger primate.
Because if it was a gorilla, I mean, it's going to be jacked.
Yeah.
And so I think Sasquatches are jacked. I'm presuming. Oh, that's the last one.
Yeah. That looks to me like a suit.
Let me see the feet soles again.
You can't really tell on this one.
That looks like a suit to me as well.
But you see, the thing
I think it's the same suit as the other one.
Yeah, it could be. All I'm saying is, if whoever, like, does it have any credits to like where these pictures were taken?
I got it from Facebook, cryptid Facebook page, and they post all these pictures with it's just pictures.
Yeah.
I think AI is strong enough now to maybe fool us, and I think there's a lot of pranksters out there. That one, I think, that one and that gray one that's blurry are the two ones I'm like, it's possible.
This one and the previous one?
Yeah. Oh, no, that one and that gray one where it's like blurred.
Real blurry. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, those two could be it. But again, like you said, a lot of people want to be these hunters and so they fake. And it's those dudes that I'm like, why? Why
Dude,
fake it?
You know Turtle Man, right? Yeah. Turtle Man. He's going to be at the Bigfoot thing in August here in North Carolina. He's on recently, and he's telling a story of his Bigfoot encounter. And he was deep up on the mountain hunting. You know, he's outdoor guys. He's up in his deer. He's up in my deer stand. And I saw this deer. I heard all these knockings. And I hear one over here going. And then I hear one over here going. He says, I'm up in my deer stand. I'm like, what's going on? You know how he talks. I'm imitating him best I can. He says, so I see this deer. And I'm like, oh, there's a deer right there. He said, all of a sudden, this rock, he walks around and he finds a rock like this size. Bam, hit that deer in the head. Out of nowhere. He said, that deer stumbled off, fell in a bush. He said, all of a sudden, I saw the Bigfoot come right at him and go in that bush and get it. He said, I got so scared. He said, I ain't sticking around. I climbed out of my deer stand and left.
No.
And I'm like, bruh.
If you're that scared, you're panicking and you're making a lot of noise. And
that's why I said, if they don't know you're up there in that tree stand, just stay up in that freaking tree stand.
Yeah, don't breathe.
He said that they were up there, and he said he imagines the other ones helped him after he hit that deer. He said he saw a big rock hit the side head of that deer, and that deer was like, whoa. He said then he saw it come at him and get him. And now the way he tells it is he was like, I wouldn't stick around. I climbed down from my deer stand and left. Now, he didn't explain the distance he saw this. But I tell you this, though. If you saw a giant ape creature and you heard a bunch of them and then you see that, do you just stay in your deer stand and hope they don't see you, or do you get the F out of there? Tough question.
Well, I am an experienced hunter, and deer stands, especially up in a tree, it takes time to get up and down them safely. And I'm not talking about like 2-3 minutes. Like, it's a work in progress to do up and down them. And it's going to be noisy. If something's that close to where you're seeing a deer and you're thinking about to take a shot on it or something, and all of a sudden a rock hit, then no matter what movement you do, you're going to be loud. And it would cause a lot. And you taking minutes to climb down.
And then walking out.
And then walking out. Doing that with a level head would take time to try to be quiet. If you're panicked, I don't see it.
So what I'm thinking is, I don't want to say that Turtle Man's a liar, but his show was rigged. Remember it's called The Wild Man?
Yep.
They doped these animals and placed these animals in certain situations for him to catch them. The one time he caught a zebra, that zebra was doped up. That came out.
Oh, wow.
That's the only reason he could catch it. Yeah.
Well, it's entertainment.
It is.
It's supposed to be all.
But he's telling this story. He says, that's my Bigfoot encounter. He goes, true story. And I'm just like, to me, it seems more reasonable that if you saw a rock fly hit this deer inside the head, and then all of a sudden a Bigfoot comes out of nowhere and it gets it in the bushes, hear him thrashing around. I think he said he heard him thrashing around. I can't remember exactly. And you know there's other ones around because you heard the knocking, that I would just stay where I'm at.
Yeah. You're going to make noise.
Because I'm like this. Climb this fucking tree. Yeah. Maybe.
Or they can just pick up a rock and fling it at your head, too. Yeah.
So maybe with that, you're like, okay, I'm out. I'm out.
But still,
And
it's gonna take
maybe
time.
the deer ran off far enough away. He went and saw it run out there, and then maybe he's like, they're way over there. I'm getting the hell out of here. Maybe.
Yeah, but deer move like you don't hear them.
Oh yeah, he said that he saw it stagger off.
Well, I'm talking about as it's walking up.
Oh yeah.
Like if it's walking, deer are really, really good about walking up and not making a single noise. So if a deer can walk up and a Bigfoot notice it to throw a stone at it from a distance and then chase it down, you're louder than that deer.
Oh yeah. But I'm devil's advocate.
Yeah.
The way he talked, it may have hit the deer and ran off, maybe out of sight, and he saw a Bigfoot run up there after it. He said,
Well,
jump
if
in
it's
the
out of
bush.
sight over a little hill, yeah, I can see. But again,
So maybe that's why
with
he says
panic,
true story goes, true story.
panicking. I could see if that happened to me, I would probably be panicking, and therefore you're going to be more clumsy. You're going to make a lot of noise. Definitely running out of there through leaves.
And know there's more Bigfoot in the area because you heard him knocking.
You're going to be slow walking through the woods with, especially with down brown leaves. You really have to make an effort, and you're still making noise.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And you got that rhythm. Every animal knows it's a 2-foot bipedal something walking in the woods.
Yeah. Especially if you step and well, even if you don't see limbs underneath leaves, if you step on one and it snaps, everything knows that's a predator because it's big enough to snap. Squirrels don't ever snap twigs. Deers don't ever snap twigs. No, the only thing that snaps twigs is something
Bigfoots don't
big.
apparently either.
Yeah, you know. I don't know the dude. I'm just saying, like, with the stuff I know about hunting and the way that I know about woods, I don't think he could have just got out of there without him at least noticing him and maybe throwing something at him. Because, you know, some Bigfoots throw things at people.
Well, this son bitch was so accurate, it hit the side of a damn deer head.
Yeah.
And about knocked it the freak out.
Yeah. And that could be you too.
Thing is, if he's up in that tree stand and sees all this, why don't he record it? I know he's a country guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got a cell phone on him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I would have put it up there. Yeah. I don't know. I did listen to a show, my Butterfly Ninjas of Butterfly show, and a dude named Andrew on there. He had a pretty good little story that it was a story he told about a guy that went up to Utah and hunted near Gordon Gorge or Gordon something. And he's an experienced hunter, and he went really far off and were really deep in, more than what normal people go, just because he's more experienced. He's a woodsman. He went really far out. He went and set up his deer stand up in there, went back and made a camp, and then he made it to where, you know, most hunters, if you want to get out in a deer stand, you want to kind of go at like 4 a.m. when it's dark, walk to your deer stand, climb up, and then before the sun comes up, you want to be in there established to where for hours you don't make a noise, you know, just for deer to, because they'll hear you going to it, but then eventually, hours later, something that couldn't even hurt you might wander in. We said that it was a full moon outside, and he got up there, and it was almost near dawn because the moon was already down below trees, and so the light was real far out. And he said that he heard a couple, this is the hunter, heard a couple taps here and there. And he
Like
was
taps, like tree taps.
yeah, like tree tap things. And so he was like, dang, what in the world? You know, so he was like, all right, being still. And then he said like something just, he looked down, and he said it was a black figure just kind of like standing there looking around, and it was just enough light to where he could kind of see it, make out it a little bit. He said it was completely hairless, black skin.
Hairless,
black skin. And it looked around, and then all of a sudden it like looked right up at him. And he said the eyeballs were sunk in. It was pitch black. You couldn't see any eyeballs whatsoever.
Oh, this isn't Bigfoot. This sounds like something different.
Sounded like something different. And he said as soon as that thing noticed him, it started. I forgot the word for it, but it was like what cats do, where they're like, not cackling, but I don't know. Again, I don't know what the word. He said it, but I've done forgot it. But it's something like where it's like vibrating in its throat, kind of
Purring or something, or
yeah, but not really like a growl or a purr. It's just like a, kind of like, oh crap, like you kind of startled it, and it's kind of like defense. And he said it just like it was there, it took a step, and he couldn't see nothing anymore. Like it just blended in and disappeared. So the guy was like, all right, stood up there for a little bit, and he was like, I don't want to be here. I don't know where that thing left or went. So he just kind of like, kept his eye out. He said he waited about another 30 minutes to an hour, and then he said,
sun's coming up.
well, maybe it was a little bit before the sun's coming up. Maybe it was still almost where it's dawn. He said he just got down, left his gear, trucked it back to his camp really quick, grabbed his essentials, didn't really pack down camp, grabbed his essentials, and got out of there. And he said when he got back to his vehicle, he saw a park ranger out there, and he told him, and he was like, hey, man, I saw this something. He was explaining it to him, all this and that, and he was like, it's way up at Gordon Gorge or whatever, whatever that landmark is. And that guy was like, and he said the park ranger's like, yeah, that's the same gorge that touches the Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh,
He says there's a lot of people said that there's a lot of crazy stuff out that way.
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalker Ranch. But he said this thing was
Where was this at?
in Utah.
Utah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So he said it was black skin, hollowed in, black, no reflection in its eyes whatsoever. It's like looking into a void where his eyes were. And he said it was completely hairless, and it made purring kind of how like if you have a cat on your lap and you're like really loving it, and it's just yeah, something like that. And it chattering or something, I think is what it's called. But he said that he saw that thing, and he said, yeah.
Why'd you shoot it?
I don't know.
Probably wasn't done no good, actually.
I don't know.
If it backed off, you won.
Well, here's the thing. In the moment, if that's completely true, in the moment, yeah, you got a gun, your adrenaline's so high, you're not thinking right. You're not thinking, let me just shoot this thing. You're thinking, you're just trying to, in your mind, try to piece together, like, what am I looking at? What? And then if it just like steps off and vanishes, then you're like, oh crap, I got a gun. I should,
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's just my logic of what it is. But the Andrew dude that was telling the story, he said that he typed in the description into Chat GPT or AI image thing, and he showed it, but it was from the perspective of a tree stand, and it was just like real dark because, again, it was at night, and then all you could see is just like this little shadowy figure. Like you couldn't really make out details or anything.
How tall did he say it was? Was it small, big?
His description, it would have been about 6 foot tall,
Okay.
a little bit higher than 6 foot. So not a Samsqanch, But I was like, man, that's pretty interesting.
Hairless, hollowed eyes, and making that chattering.
Yeah. He said,
Wendigo, maybe?
well, the dude said that the park ranger was talking about there's like skinwalkers and stuff up in there.
Elemental, maybe?
I don't know, but makes me think, man, if I won that lottery, I'd take some hunting trips.
Go look for some cryptids?
Yeah, I'm talking about going to like Utah and stuff too.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Going out there.
I'm right with you.
Yeah.
We go hunting for some cryptids.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to get your hunting license because we're going out there
I'm a
for
photographer.
deer.
I'm a photographer.
We're going out there for deer.
I'm a photographer.
You need to be hunting.
Nah, I'm a photographer.
But
I just got my own self-defense.
I thought that was a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, dude. That's nuts.
And then telling that story made me think, I wish I could find that video of what the sounds like the T-Rex. There's in Jurassic Park, they blended in a bunch of animals.
Yeah.
And they made it like roar. Well, then something about this new discovery about how they really think it sounded like.
3D prints, voice box probably or something.
Yeah. And it was like some dude made a sound, and that thing is terrifying. It's not
Really?
like a normal roar. It's almost like a deep predator bird, kind of like kind of thing. Yeah, dude.
Something about birds, dude. Like seriously, big
Yeah.
birds,
Oh, birds are savages, bro.
bro. Pelicans are savage.
Dude, I'm talking about when I first
Falcons, raptors, all those dudes,
when I
man.
first started with this business, and I had to ride with people. I was with Leslie. We went to this person's home, and she went up, and it was a female woman customer. So she went in and was doing the inside, and she told me to do the outside. So I was like, all right, cool. Walked around the corner, or before I heard it, or walked around the corner, I heard a thud. I was like, what in the world?
What?
So I walked around, dude. It was a hawk that was on top of a squirrel. Like it had one paw on its body and one paw on its throat, and that squirrel was wiggling around, and that thing just looked up at me, and then when it pecked down and started opening it up, and I was like, dang, bro, I couldn't have stood there for a minute, and then I kind of backed off because
You ever look at one of those raptors straight on?
raptors.
Or the raptors, like the eagle's a raptor.
Oh, uh-uh.
That's what they call it. Look them straight on. They're like just it's intimidating as hell.
Yeah.
Like an eagle or a falcon's like this at you, you're like, oh Jesus.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
You're like, ooh, looking right at me.
Well, I got another customer that lives in Stokesdale on the outside edge of it. He's a new falconer.
Yeah.
He's a
I
new
used to
guy.
have a falconer live near me.
And last year he had his falcon. It was a male, I believe he said, and he had it back in this little. He made this little makeshift kind of living area for it, like a shelter. The back half of it, it's like all walled up and closed, where he kept like his food and stuff. But then like roof came down, and then around the outside was just like chicken wire, so they had like views and open sky, and he had his little thing there to like perch on. Well, this past year I went out there, and he had a female, and he had it on. He had two stakes in his front yard and a huge like wire, and then of course he had like a little O-ring and a string that was on it, and so it could fly back and forth, you know. But yeah, that thing looked at me. Neither one of them really liked me, but he could walk up to it, you know, and he would go. But of course he's training it. But he tells me all the time like how he takes it out. He'll like let it go off, and it'll go get a squirrel. Or if it's like flying around and not finding anything, he'll start like beating on stuff and try to shake something out to run. And then it's like, yeah, that falcon knows I'm trying to help it, so it'll stay around me, you know. And it's pretty cool how he says it'll just don't even hear it fly through trees, go right through limbs, and just yoink something like a squirrel on a limb, and just yoink, and then take it down. He said last time he took it out, it did that to a squirrel and got it, and then it was down by a river, but there was also other ones out, like, and they were trying to like chase it off, you know, because it's
in your territory.
Yeah, it's in a territory. And so he said he had to like, it went down, got the squirrel, ran off, and then he said he lost sight of it, and he's like, oh no, you know, he's like, that's the one thing you don't want to do is lose sight. So he chased it down, and he said by the time he finally found her, a tree fell over. And, you know, it's normally like the root system, and then like he said she got like down in there and kind of crawled up in there so that she's out of view of the other ones.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And he said, so he found her and was like, okay, girl. And he said he let her just sit there and eat that squirrel up, you know. And then after she got done, he went over there and clipped on the little thing, put the glove on, and walked her out, you know. But it's like, how you become all that? He was like, well, you have to have a sponsor, you know, because there's like licensing, you know,
Oh
people.
Lord, yeah, I guess there is. It's probably state regulated.
Yeah.
You can take injured.
Yep. And you can only have them if they're under a year old. Once they're a year old, you release them, and then they're in the wild. But yeah, you have to have a sponsor. You have to go through like little training classes before you even get one. All this and that. Yeah, it's a highly regulated thing.
We had a guy in the neighborhood that had a couple of them. He had a red-tailed hawk, he had a falcon, and he says they hunt differently.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Yeah, some fly to the ground, go up and grab them. Some come down and get.
Yeah.
It's just weird. He's talking about and he would get a dead duckling and put leather through its eyeball sockets, and he'd fling that thing up in the air and grab it. And
Yeah.
he had to get it from him before he started eating it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd reward it, here you go. But it was crazy. I was like, and somebody was like this right here at me, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
bro, that's intense.
Oh yeah. Well, birds are just savage, especially predator birds.
Yeah, you think reptiles are savage, man? Birds.
Yeah, they don't care. While you're alive, while that squirrel was alive and kicking, it was starting to degut it. It was gutting it, and then it's all trying to scream and get away and bite.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nope, it's just
Just go ahead and die.
take them guts out, eat them like pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then when it's got its fill, it just flies off.
And then crows are so damn smart; they harass birds like that.
Yeah.
Crows and hawks apparently don't get along. Crows and owls don't get along. Crows will mess with other nests and smash their eggs or kill their babies on sight.
Yeah.
Because hawks always mess with their nests.
I got crows that I feed every day. I'm trying to get friends with them.
Yeah, we got pretty good. The Amazon's pretty decent friends with them. They call her out in the morning. They'll go outside the window and go, ah, ah, ah. She'll get up and feed them. Dog food, peanuts, eggs.
Mine's still scared.
Really?
Yeah. They'll be out in my yard and I'll open the door. I don't know if I'm being I don't know how to call them, but I go out there and I'm literally like, caw-caw, caw-caw.
She just whistles. She goes, and then they all know that's her. And it's funny because they'll wake her up when they're hungry.
Yeah.
And they've had a young one recently, and he gets closer than the other ones do. And I imagine if that one gets kids, and they'll, I'm saying eventually, they've left one present.
I ain't never had a
They're
present.
little greedy bastards.
Yeah.
The dogs don't mess with them.
But I'll feed mine and I'll go out there. But as soon as they see me, I'm like, caw-caw, they're like, and take off and go and leave. And I'm like, I literally feed y'all every day.
You're probably telling them, go F yourself. Caw-caw.
Yeah, caw-caw.
But they know her. They know the blue car. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'd like them to give me a little something, especially off near that lake.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
There's some high dollar people
Diamonds.
out there. They go out there and yank.
That's why you can't have one as a pet. It's illegal because you
can
can train
train
them, to carry out missions.
Yeah, I saw a little short on YouTube where a guy, it was like a hand. It was like, this crow knows what the difference, what money is. And he held up it's a foreign currency, but he held it up and rubbed it. And that he had like a little pet and it came hopping over and it yanked it from him and took it off. And then he held up a piece of paper, same size, and rubbed it. And it walked up and was like, huh? It was like, psh, turned around and walked off. He was like, man, you trying to fake me out.
They use tools. They're super smart.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of guys in New York teaching them how to collect change. They put change in the bank, they get fed. And so they get like a little deposit box all over these.
Yeah, that's how you do it,
That's how you do it. There's a story of this woman that became friends with crows. And she went hiking one time and dropped her lens cap to her camera. And when she got home, it was sitting on her little balcony.
Dang.
Crows followed her, picked it up, brought it back to her. It's crazy.
That's why I want to make friends with them.
Yeah, I like to have crows and ravens.
Give me some stuff, man. I feed them. I spend a whole bunch of money every week.
Bro, she buys regular unboiled peanuts for them. We feed them dog food, eggs, and peanuts, and whatever we have laying around. They love it.
Yeah.
The blue jays come around, and I like blue jays. They're related to crows somewhat. There's corvids, but I like the blue jays and I like the crows. They're big, dude. Crows are big.
I just buy like the songbird mix, which inside of it has I think little almonds or something. I think that's what they come in.
They like dog food. You put little cat food, dog food. They love that. A lot of protein. And our crows, I don't know if it's everywhere, but where I work, there's some crows. They're small, skinny. Our crows are big, shiny. Yeah. I guess because of the protein that Amazon feeds them. But it's so funny because that young one will sit there and start hollering. And I swear you could tell the other crow's like, Jesus, here, eat, shut up. And he's like, They're funny.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
But there's a pair of four of them around here. And it's weird because when the crows are in the neighborhood, around backyard and all that, there's no hawks. But sometimes we'll get hawks that kind of just hang out here and you won't see the crows for a while. And then sometimes you'll hear owl down in the woods and we won't have the crows around for a minute or two. It's like they're like, nah, we'll just wait till you move out of the area.
Yeah, but if there's like more crows, can't they just gang up?
They do, but I guess it's avoiding confrontation is best because, you know, owl and a hawk will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, a featherless owl is the weirdest
Scary.
looking
Their
thing.
legs like that damn long.
But they're weird looking.
Yes.
They're all real thin
Their
and like
ears are different levels.
Yeah.
They have 3D hearing. Did you know that?
uh-uh.
Yeah, their ears, one's higher and one's lower, so they can pinpoint sound better.
Dang.
Yeah.
All I know is they look weird.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Getting cold chills. Brr.
Theo Vaughn says they don't taste good either.
Never ate one.
Yeah.
Theo
He
Vaughn.
knows some people. He knows some people that be dining on that owl. Which, I mean, yeah, if it's around.
Yeah, if it's around.
I mean, he says
I don't go out and look for owl meat.
He says you ain't going to get full off of one. Because there ain't a lot of meat on it.
Boil the bones to get any nutrients out of it. Just about.
Yeah.
The bone broth after you eat the meat off.
Ooh. You get messages.
Am I?
Yeah.
I always get messages when I'm trying to work Friday night.
I know. Don't they know?
I don't know, man.
I respect y'all and don't contact you.
Well, nobody watches this. None of my close friends. My daughter just told me, says, I hate to tell you, but I know for a fact that you people real close to you don't listen to your podcast. I'm like,
Yeah.
baby, I know.
Oh, I know.
We do it for me and you.
Yeah.
If they want to hop on the train, they can.
That's right. Yeah. I like come here, have fun, chit-chatting about random stuff. Also found out today that there is a volcano on the surface of Mars that is 3 times higher than, what's our tallest mountain?
Everest?
3 times higher than that. And from the tip all the way down to the base, from base end to base end, is the size of Arizona.
Lord, that's a mega structure.
Yeah. And if that thing goes off, they were joking around talking about if that thing ever erupted, we'd feel it here on Earth. Yeah, just imagine three times the size.
Speaking of volcanoes, there's a lot going off right now. Apparently seismic activity's going up. And the Pope died, and the Pope prophecies.
I'm glad you mentioned the Pope, dude. I mentioned this today, and of course, my sister-in-law
didn't receive well, probably.
No, my sister-in-law had I'll give you her answer after I tell you. So, for what I understand, because I'm not Catholic, I don't really understand that, but for what I understand, on Easter, the Pope got up and done his normal Easter service, done his little Easter message, and then I woke up Monday morning, getting ready for work. You know, I'm walking around the house. I got my phone. I normally scroll through something on YouTube that I don't have to watch, but I can listen to, like most stuff.
Yeah.
You know, as I'm driving down the road, I try to do that. I close the screen out. I can listen to something like a radio. But as I was scrolling through, I saw the feed. Oh, Pope Francis died early this morning. And I'm like, dang. You know, sucks if somebody dies, you know. But I was like, you know, didn't think nothing of it. Because, again, I'm not really Catholic. So, I find something. I go to work. I come home. And normally when I get home is when I get on my treadmill. So I turn on my smart TV because I have my TV right there at my treadmill. I normally just watch a video. And so I have a smart TV, so whenever I turned it on, it has like all the Netflix, YouTube, all the apps on the bottom, but on the top half of it, it goes through like Prime. Mm-hmm. It shows me a show on that. It'll go to Netflix, you know, just as like, hey, here's a variety of channels with things. So the Netflix one pops up Monday afternoon. Already had a Pope Francis tribute video.
That was quick.
That's what I thought. I was like, so he died early this morning, and Netflix is already has a tribute to his life video.
Well, to be honest, don't they have like football roundup shows just after the game with all the highlights and everything? I mean, I'm sure somebody could probably throw one together pretty quick.
But that's mostly like network TV, the broadcasting stuff. Yeah, that would be easy.
Well,
But
this would be easy, wouldn't it? Well, you have to archive and pull up everything.
you'd have to archive, pull up videos
maybe
of
you're right.
the life tribute of him.
Wouldn't be the last thing he did.
Yeah, and so I was like, that's a little fishy how it's that it's 7-8 hours and you already have a show edited.
They probably knew, well, not knew, but I bet you, devil's advocate, I bet you that once he got sick, somebody said, we need to go ahead and start working on this.
That's what my sister-in-law basically said. She said, well, they probably could have had it already made.
Because he knew he was old.
And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, that's even worse. Because it's like while you're alive, people are already making like your
let's
live
think about it right now.
videos.
Who is old? Dick Van Dyke. He's like 100 years old, bro, and still kicking it. You know
Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke, right?
Yeah. Dick
I'm
Van Dyke
sure
show.
they already have.
He always
his
sat
thing.
down and tripped over the thing.
Yeah. He's one. Yeah, Chevy Chase kind of copied him a little bit. I'm sure they already have it put together. They're just waiting to put in that last bit.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth, probably the same thing.
Possibly, but I'm just thinking, good. He's still not even in the ground, and they already have momentum. Like,
Dude, why is all this symbolism around this Pope non-Catholic?
what are you talking about?
He has upside down crosses all around him. He has a picture of like this devil, this thing on his rosary, on his cloth or whatever.
Yeah.
He had a picture of like a Mexican. You know how they put stuff on the side of a mountain? Looks like a figure on the side of a mountain. It's this thing with wings and horns.
Yeah.
He introduced Mata Picha into the Catholic Church. They had a whole ceremony about it.
Oh no, bro.
And it's like, you shall have no other gods before me. And he's all about other gods before him.
Yeah.
And they talk about the prophecy.
Oh yeah, where he went to that country and they worship like a female deity.
Yeah, he brought it back to the Vatican and had a ritual.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson talks about it, matter of fact. That's where I heard that from.
Well, I think Mel Gibson is Catholic.
Mm-mm.
I thought he was Catholic.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I think he's like, I don't know what he is.
I know Mark Wahlberg is Catholic,
Yeah.
and the guy that plays Jesus in The Chosen, he's Catholic.
Stephen Colbert is Catholic, I think.
Well, I personally don't believe in what they believe.
But like even the throne and the viewing room was like a giant snake, and in the throne room there's like the devil, and there's all these symbolisms that he walks around with that is like satanic looking.
Yeah.
And the Pope's prophecy is that the next Pope will be Peter, the Black Pope, first Black Pope, and after him will be the end of the world.
Peter the Roman.
Peter the Roman's the last Pope?
Yeah, Peter the Roman. Which there's, from what I understand, if you're going out for being the Pope, because they do a voting system. If your name is Peter, then if they are actually voted in, they change their name to be something else because it's a respect thing toward Peter the Apostle, because they say he was the first Catholic Pope. So as a respect thing, they take it, or they change their name. So, but they're saying that this is the first time in history. Well, actually, the first time ever since like the 1100s that there's a Peter that's in the prospect, but it's not only one, there's three of them.
Yeah.
And one of them is Italian, which is Roman. And they're saying the prophecy of the Pope.
Yeah, he's the white guy.
The last one is Peter the Roman.
I guess we'll find out soon when the smoke comes out.
Yeah. Well, Nostradamus also, once he saw that list, it was something also, the prophecy of the Pope. It was written in like the 1100s. And it wasn't found or made public until like the 1500s. But then Nostradamus was just a little bit before that, and he read into it, and he predicted that Nostradamus said that is a correct prophecy. And so we'll see.
We'll see. I think that we have the power to change things.
I don't. I think it's already well established. as far as like free will in humans, I believe that you have your free will to do whatever you want. But as far as the way the world's going to work, I think that because Revelation, I think it's going to happen because that's the Creator made that prophecy. So I think it's all going to work toward it one way or another.
Well, they're talking about all the earthquakes and this will be the last pope, and and we've heard about the Mayan calendar, we've heard about the comet, and it's just like 2027 is supposed to be last year. Well, and the comet's supposed to come back around then.
Well, it's not going to be the last year.
Asteroid.
It's not going to be the last year because
well, I'm saying last year for civilization.
Well, as far as I understand it, from my beliefs in Revelation, there's going to be, when the Antichrist takes power, whenever that happens, for whatever now until that happens, once he becomes power and he makes a one world government, it's 7 years after that. So, but then halfway in between, he's gonna start his power making a peace treaty with all the world, and then he's also going to give special privileges to Israel. Yeah, and then halfway into that, so 3.5 years, he's going to break that.
I think we need to break
peace treaty.
I think we need to break off from the control of Israel. I'm not against or for him. I only care about America. I'm not too hip on the world stage.
I like the people, but just like a government, I don't trust their government because they're government.
I think they have too much control and too much power over us, Americans.
I agree.
But that's something I'm not educated enough to sit there and talk and bitch about. I don't care for Palestine either. I don't care for Russia. I don't care. Well, I like Japan because I like the culture.
Yeah.
But I actually don't give a shit about Japan either compared to us.
Yeah.
I worry about my taxes. I worry about my world. I worry about my power grid. I worry about my family.
They say Japan is one of the most peaceful nations. Like, you could go there and the chance of crime happening to you is very, very close.
I think it is the most violent country
1%.
in the world at one point.
Yeah.
They were warriors over there.
Yeah. And now
human life was nothing.
And now they're one of the most safest countries on the planet.
There's this one person said they'd never been mugged their whole life, lived in New York and never been mugged, went to Japan and got mugged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Car pinned up against the building and they got mugged.
Well, I didn't say it was impossible. I'm just saying very low risk. Very low risk in Japan. A lot of low crime.
I want to go to Japan. Australia and Japan. Yeah. I don't care about going anywhere else. Like, I don't want to go to London. London's not London no more. Ireland's not Ireland no more.
Well, I did hear that in Japan, if, like, me and you go, and you're like, we're walking the streets, and you're like, hey, I want to stop in this store. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go down to that store, and then you walk in that store, I go down and walk in my store. And then if we happen to come out and we're kind of far apart, it's very frowned upon to be like, hey, and wave and get attention. They don't like that. It's very frowned upon, or maybe even a cop might come over and be like, cut it out,
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that, though.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're very social conscious about how you act.
Yeah.
Hey, yo!
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. They're going to be like, ooh.
I had to go with Fiona, my little niece, and Carrie, because I'd be like...
They lived there, didn't they?
Yeah, they live there full time, but they go around. This is crazy. U.S. Aid helps them around the world.
They live in Japan, but USA.
Yeah, and now the funding's kind of like, yoink! And so I think they're back in Japan. I really want to go. I gotta go get the freaking passport and stuff. I just hadn't done it yet.
Dude, I'd love to go to Japan. I'd go to Japan with you if I had money. Yeah, let me save up a whole bunch of money. Dude,
we'll do it.
I'll take it.
We'll go to Japan.
I always like to fly. I like to go, but from what I understand, it's like a 24-hour flight. Like,
it's fine by me. I sleep, dude. I'm a pro sleeper.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what I could do for 20. I can't sleep for 24 hours.
Yeah, I could.
I couldn't. I'd be sitting there poking you.
So I showed up to the Montgomery house.
Pour a little bit of water while you.
Yeah, I showed up to the Montgomery house 10:30 in the morning. Right. I did some drone footage. I took pictures of the inside, and then we went inside. So I went inside and spent an hour inside. Came back out. It was about noon. Right. Well, everybody left, and so I was from there from noon to 6 by myself. And I was like, 6 hours? This is awesome. Dude, I parked in the shade. I took everything out of the back seat, laid down my cases. I popped down the back seat, and I just laid the back of that car and put my hat down. And I napped on and off for like 6 hours. It was beautiful.
Hey.
Quiet next to a haunted
hot?
house.
Was it hot?
No, the breeze was blowing. It's beautiful. I was in the shade.
Okay.
I was next to Yari Forest, so I had my heat on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them, them Samsqanches.
Samsqanches. And I said that on one of my videos. I was like, there's Samsqanches. I think it's on my Facebook Live, I think. I said Samsqanches.
Yeah. I'm a trendsetter.
Yeah, Sam's.
Well, I stole it
from Bubbles.
Yeah.
Samsqanches. Or I'm more worried about damn, like, mountain lions and bears.
Yeah. Well, you ain't going to hear them.
No.
A mountain lion, you ain't going to hear.
I heard my foot getting clawed. I'm like, pow, 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 pow.
Yeah.
Scared away.
They'll bite you back of your neck and drag you off.
Nah, my neck, I slept with my head up in the car in the middle between the two windows. But I was also in a haunted house where supposedly you can see them looking out the windows. Crazy thing is, somebody took a picture during the daytime while I was there and said they showed the picture to me. I didn't get a good look at it, but showed a picture of a little girl looking out the window. So I'm there the whole day. I kept looking up the windows.
See if you can get that picture and pop it in.
I'll ask. I don't have it. But I was there all day, and I kept looking at the windows. Nothing. I was like, man, it'd be awesome if I saw one looking out. Nothing. At one point,
you would have like got up, ran in there, ran up?
Yeah. I went in there by myself about 2 or 3 o'clock. I got bored, and I went in there, and I ran a spirit box by myself in the house. I don't get scared with ghosts. That doesn't scare me. I did get creeped out one time there at night by myself, though. But other than that, I don't get creeped out.
Last Saturday? Or was
last Saturday.
You were in there by yourself at night?
Everybody else went out. They were taking a break, and I stayed in there. And I just sat upstairs by myself in the dark, real quiet, just my camera on. Totally fine. And then I got up and just walking around, and then I was like, ooh, I'm creeped out. I said, I never get creeped out. And I just was like, ooh, I don't like this. I went downstairs and went outside.
They're starting to tap in that energy.
Maybe. I just got creeped out. But
did you ever say, you are free to take my energy?
Never. Yeah, they ain't free for shit.
That's right.
All thing I said is, hey, if you show yourself, just show yourself or talk. That way we can get more money for you here. We're trying to save this place, and we need your help.
They don't care about money.
I know, but the place is going to get sold or tore down. It's a 195-year-old house. But
hand built.
It was.
Every nail was hand driven.
And it has no insulation because there wasn't insulation back then. Like the board that's on the inside is the board that's on the outside.
Yeah.
That's it. And there's no floor insulation.
They ain't got no mud in between the cracks.
Nope. It's just straight wood. It was a mansion because it has a fireplace. And this is 1830.
Yeah.
That's when it's built. Every room has a fireplace. It's like that's balling. And it had little closets. That was unheard of in the 1830s. Yeah. 2-story shotgun house with a breeze will blow through it. The kitchen was off-site. That's how they did back in the 1830s. Burn your kitchen down, it's fine. You didn't burn your house down.
Yeah. Outhouse.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no plumbing.
Does it still function? People
Plumbing?
out there? No, the outhouse. People still.
It's not there on the property no more.
Oh,
it has no bathroom out there.
Oh,
that's gone with the wind.
Well, where are you supposed to go?
You go in the woods. That's haunted as well.
Oh.
There's pictures of a Civil War soldier standing out in the middle of the field.
Watching you while you...
And the first time I was there 2 years ago, a voice kept coming over the spirit box, very pertinent things. I shined a bright flashlight, and it said, bright. And I was like, you can turn it off? And it's like, yes. I'm like... And then it said, I was walking, and it said Audra. Audra's the girl who's walking with me. Audra is a weird name. Audra's not a normal name. It said Audra.
Yeah, I've never heard it.
And it said, I asked a question, and it said, like, stand here. And I was like, anyway. So I'm out there, huh?
You flick at the bird, say, I'll stay where I want.
I ain't like that. I'm very dull when I go ghost hunting. I'm like, yeah, that could be. Well, I tell you, one guy was mowing the yard while I was inside, and I was running spirit box, and a voice came and said, get out. I said, it just went. I was looking at that camera. It had on like a little stand. I was like, it just said, get out. And I said, I don't want to get out. I'm a positive guy. I'll be here all night. I said, I'll be here till like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I said, what's going on outside? The guy's mowing. They went, mowing. And I went, it just said mowing.
Crazy.
That's cool as crap.
Yeah.
I haven't reviewed all my footage yet, but that's pretty much the only thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, there's something else happened. 12:30 at night, we was getting ready to pack up. We did an Estes session.
What is that?
It's where they blindfold me, and they put headphones on me. And in the headphones is the spirit radio. And so I do this right here. They ask questions. I can't hear what they're asking. And I just blurt out what I hear, right? One of the team members did it before me, and she said, I don't hear nothing. She said, somebody did say dipshit. And we're like, dipshit? You wouldn't hear that on a radio.
Yeah.
Like, there's no radio station that would say dipshit. And so I put it on, and I was like this right here. It was like, and I heard, I would just blurt out what I heard. And I'd be like, okay, a female voice says something about, I don't know, a vehicle. And I said, it just said dipshit. It's like a female voice goes, dipshit. Like that over a couple of channels, dipshit, dipshit. And then I got a name that said, I can't remember. Richard, I do remember. Richard, start with a P. What was that last name?
Well, then you don't remember.
I don't remember.
Richard Pettigrew.
Richard Precise or something like that. Something weird last name. I said, it just said Richard Precise. And I can't hear their conversation.
Yeah.
And then it said a couple other things. It said F them one time or something like that. F it or F them. Which could be like, welcome to FM, but it was like effing, like that. And so I just blurted out what I heard, a couple other things. And then I turned it off. They're like, you won't believe it. He said, you said Richard, what'd I say, preacher or something? Richard?
Precise.
Precise. It wasn't that exactly. You said Richard Precise. And then this box right here came up the name Richard Precise like 2 minutes later. I was like, no, it didn't. He's like, I swear to God, it did. And I'm like, that's crazy. Same first and last name came through on two different things.
Huh.
That nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know what the odds of that is. I don't know what the odds of mowing coming over and get out. And one female voice said, hi. And I said, hi. And that's the only thing I had. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. It was all on the radio. They had a dead bell going off that the spirits can ring. Ding! It's like a little bell with a little electronic camera on it. And if you ask a question, it goes ding! And you say one ring yes, two rings for no. And they said they had a pretty good conversation with the ghost that was relevant. I wasn't in there for that.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, just now, is when I start talking about this kind of stuff or I leave a haunted house, I have like 3 or 4 days or maybe even a week where everything makes me look around. I hear stuff. My dreams, I heard a woman say, boo, it's boo, like that. And I heard like, I felt
like you're her boo,
boo, like trying to be funny. And I felt pressure on my bed, like somebody was doing this on my bed. But I'm super sensitive to it after I leave a haunted location. Like just now, I thought I heard something over there, so I went like that.
Yeah.
And so when I talk about it, and when I leave a haunted house, I'm like super. But I think it's just psychology.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't for a while there. I ain't been in a haunted house since that one we can't talk about. Every time we talk about it, radio dies. Yeah, so I'm just looking. I was like the same thing. But this
Still
is
going.
So that's my weekend. Tomorrow I think I'm going to a car show to film for Mechanicsville. In the morning, we can move that stuff over if you want to. It's whatever you want to do.
No.
If you don't feel like it, we can do it later.
Yeah, I can do it at some other time.
You're saying we can do it on a weekday.
Well, they're talking about rain, and then you're
Yeah.
going to be busy.
And I don't want to tear nobody's yard up.
Yeah, so I need to go over there and rearrange all the wood around, get it where it's neat.
In the trailer?
In the trailer.
I spent probably about 10 minutes getting all the nails out of it. That'd be something you could do. And I got a big magnet we can get them up with.
Where at?
Big magnet?
No, I'm talking about, where'd you take nails out?
Of all the wood I threw in the back of my truck.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got a big magnet and picked them all up. So when you're ready to rearrange them, or if you just want to hang out, we can go over there, unstack it, unnail them, stack it back up neat. Maybe with the floorboard, see, the floorboard and the walls, and then stack up all the
I'd
side
rather
wood.
keep the floor the way it is and not
That
take
big.
it apart.
Dude, I say make it like a partial deck on it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like a little walk-on area.
Even cover it.
Yeah,
That's what I would do. So you set a chair out there and cool off.
Yeah.
Or make 2 saunas, 1 heat, 1 steam. You have enough room. It's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I don't know, though, man. I don't know how I'm going to do the steam thing.
You can just buy them off Amazon, but especially a small space you're thinking of, I think it'd be great.
I'm just thinking small, compact, so that it's less cubic feet
Less
for
to heat,
air.
more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. So I want to make a big one for me and the wife to sit in and screw in. I want to sit naked with her in there. That's why I want to make a two-person one.
Well, you're talking about just doing it under that stairs, ain't you?
It'd be just big enough for me and her. I think that's the size I want to make it.
Yeah.
The slant roof, I think, will be helpful for as far as heat, compacting it.
Especially if you make it where it's like metal or that plastic.
Mhm.
That way, when it rains, it's just it never gets in there.
Oh yeah, so on top of the thing, I'm making it where it'll just drain off. And then I'm built like a regular house, you know, even under steps. But I'm putting that silver reflective stuff. I'm foaming it or insulating it, putting that silver sticky reflective tape all in it, and then I'm putting wood on top of that. I think I'm Tyvecking it as well to make it waterproof.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably put the door right there at the steps, so you walk in and there's the tallest part, and then shut the door and right there you are. I think that's what I might do. I'm gonna try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I like to have a drain out there so I can just spray it out and rinse it. That means I have to make it elevated. I don't want to make it elevated because I ain't got that much room.
Well, if you just spray it and you just leave the door open, wind should get in there and.
Well, shit, turn the heat on and open the door. Shit will sort of dry out pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's true.
You wouldn't need a drain per se.
Well, I was thinking Clorox and spray, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What do you need Clorox for?
Just to clean it. I don't know.
Thinking too much into it.
I think I am.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get athlete's foot and athlete dick in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sitting straight balls on the wood.
Can't believe you getting in there naked.
Yeah, I'm getting naked. I want a hot tub so I can get naked. This is my, yeah.
Gross.
What do you mean? It's my hot tub.
Yeah, it is. I won't ever get in it.
Yeah,
Talking
you
about
will.
being naked.
Yeah, you will.
Ooh,
I got naked at the one at the beach, and then
I
the
never
chlorine
got
burnt
in
my
it.
balls.
never got in it.
I got burnt, dude.
Yeah.
My butt cheeks and my balls got burnt from the chlorine.
Yeah.
I sat straight on it.
The jet.
No, just a seat. Apparently it had a lot of strong chemical on it. And I sit there, and then later I was like, oh, that all burned. It burned. My skin was all red. My balls were all red. My butt cheeks were all red when I sat on it naked.
Got that raw skin.
And I was like, that was not smart. That
raw
chlorine.
high. That's why I never got in it.
I was third shift, so I suffered at night while y'all were all sleeping.
Yeah.
Dude, I sat on the porch all night till sun come up. That was nice. And I slept all day.
Yeah.
We're going to the beach. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Yep. I remember
Yeah, take care of all those women by yourself.
them little naked kids.
Oh my God. And that drunk grandma of theirs.
Yeah.
About ruined the whole vacation.
Didn't she come up on our deck and was talking with y'all and stuff?
Trying to have a conversation, and we were like, hey,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here.
I was inside for that because you know me. I'm introvert. I'm stranger danger. Stranger danger.
Yeah, they think the development of the children's running around naked, and they think that's good for their development. They're both child psychologists, and I'm like, well, they're fucking failing. I didn't say that. And I was like, oh, well, I said, it's just a little weird. It kind of ruins the vacation. I agree with you. I'll talk to them about it.
Yeah, they're too old for that. If they were like 2 or 3, okay.
Dude, they were like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too old.
And I was just like, why are these naked boys around on the beach for?
Yeah. Yeah, weird. Weird. That's why I went in.
I think somebody was going to call the police on them.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
they're older now. Teenagers probably now, probably. 'Cause that's been over a decade.
Bro, little Caleb is like 18 now. We went before him. Them kids are 20. We've been friends that long? 19
Well,
years?
I've been here for 15.
15 is all?
Yeah. Moved here in 2010.
That makes sense. We was hanging around Caleb when he was 4. He's old. He's a farm boy now. He's all got a beard. He's got a beard. He's got little buff arms because he hails hay all day. Bales hay all day.
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic.
Oh, it happens to me too.
But we used to bury him in sand and pick on him.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Who the hell's this grown man talking to?
Who is that? Who are you?
Who are you? It's Caleb, man. What up, dog?
Wow. You drink your first beer yet?
Yeah, I know, right?
Little guy.
I'm sure Andrew's taking care of that. I ain't seen Andrew in a while. I miss him.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude, man.
I know every time I see him, he's got poison ivy all over him
I know.
because he's a surveyor.
He's always got poison ivy. Or he's got tick bite.
Up with it.
Oh,
too,
dude,
man.
every
He's
time.
up.
Every time. I'm like, don't you know what that stuff looks like by now? How to prevent it?
Well, I got to walk through it, man. It's my job. Like,
Wear
you
shorts.
got to.
I'm like, dude, I'd wear long sleeves and pants.
Yeah. I wear layers. So as soon as you come out of it, you can pull one layer off.
Yeah, that stuff stays on your clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Even after you touch your tools, too.
Yeah. I know. I'm allergic to it, too. Real bad.
I'm not.
Real bad.
I was as a kid. As a kid, I was allergic to pollen, poison ivy, mosquito bites hurt, and I used to get ticks. Dude, I ain't had a tick on me in years. I don't have poison ivy no more. I don't get it. Mosquitoes don't bother me.
Saturday when we went, the ivy up the trees, dude, I got a little spot or two on my thumb.
No crap.
Yeah,
Dude, I got none on me.
Dude, I got it in my process now. As soon as I start seeing it bubble, I get a washcloth and I put alcohol on it and I scrub.
I used to do Clorox when I was a kid. And it
Ooh.
felt good, but burnt.
Yeah, I just do alcohol.
Matter of fact, it's probably like all these white spots on my arm. I'm thinking about it.
And then it's like, while it's all like burning and it's like starting to like ooze out a little bit, I put peroxide on it and let that peroxide just bubble.
Because it's the oils and the allergic reaction to the oils of the plant. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I let it bubble all up. And then after that, I re-put alcohol on it. And then I put the calamine lotion on it and put a Band-Aid on it.
Because that was some poison ivy out there, but it's mostly just ivy.
Yeah, a lot of it's ivy. But
And the boy was freaking out. I was like, "It's good you're freaking out, but that is just ivy."
Yeah.
Am I gonna die? You know, no, you're fine.
Maybe if we burnt it and you started
Inhaling it, yeah.
like that'll be really bad for your lungs. You'd literally have
Poison sumac.
You'd have to get steroid shots.
Yep.
For that.
Yep. And dude, we used to burn all kinds of shit as kids. I'm sure I burnt the vine on a log. Didn't think nothing about it.
Yeah.
I was a rough kid, man, growing up.
Oh yeah, me too.
I got the scars to prove it. But yeah, pollen doesn't bother me no more. Mosquitoes don't bother me no more.
Pollen's got me every year.
Really?
My tail. Yeah, my
Poison
daughter's
ivy.
really bad now.
You what now?
My daughter.
How old is she?
She's severe.
Let her
allergies.
suffer through it, and she won't have it as a kid, as an adult.
No, dude. I'm telling you, she had flu-like symptoms.
Really?
Off of pollen.
Dude, my eyes just stayed watering, and I had running nose all spring and fall.
She had a wet cough.
Ooh, yeah.
And then it turned into a sore throat because it was so wet.
Oh, yeah, I never had that.
Yeah.
I just had the classic allergies.
Dude, we give her Claritin too, man, every day, and she still gets weird.
Ah, poor thing.
She gets it from me because when I moved up here, even
Weak
now,
ass genetics.
yeah, dude, the pollen here. I went a couple years back, and doctor told me that North Carolina has like so many diverse plants that all that pollen mixes together, and it's like wreaks havoc on people.
It doesn't bother me no more, thank God. I'm so glad.
Raised here, you never left here, bro.
Dude, I love it here. Look, I'd probably like Montana, but I love where I'm at. I love this area. Of course, I'm a homebody too, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like exploring. A friend of mine wants to go hiking, and she's like, "Let's just go hiking." I was like, "I need to go hiking and start getting ready for the big leagues." And I'm like, She's talking about going like places. I'm like, let's just go around here.
Yeah.
I don't want to go places.
Oh, I know this awesome trail 3 hours from here.
Where's that at?
No, I'm just saying, like that's something she'd say to you.
Probably, and I'm like, look, man, I got
There's
film.
trails all around.
There's trails
this
all around
area.
here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's no high elevation, great sight scenery. Like there's no
but
mountaintop.
there's a little bit of hills
A
and
little bit. Yeah, like the Uari,
up and downs.
Samsqanch.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Uari, dude. I don't understand that place, dude.
You didn't think it's yeah.
You go up flipping 50 degrees for like a half a mile.
But you never go down.
No, then you go down.
Really?
Yeah, it went up and then it would summit and then you would come right back.
I don't remember the going down part. I remember the going up and
that was
thinking to
easy.
myself, how can we be at the same level of the car? All we do is go up. I don't remember the down part.
No, there's down parts. That was the easy part.
Dude, I don't remember nothing. It was just pain and misery. My heart was beating out my chest.
Yeah.
I couldn't breathe. And I was dehydrated. Now, I'm wearing a camel pack.
Yeah.
And I'm carrying a trash bag. That's it.
Oh, dude, speaking of Camelback, I took mine out for the first time Tuesday. We had to do a big development for a termite. Not only that, dude, I wore my weighted vest all day.
No shit.
I put 5-pound ankle weights on each wrist
Damn,
and,
Kakarot.
and 10 pounds on each ankle all day. I took over 9,000 steps, maybe 10,000 that day.
Do
But
you-
I didn't go home and run, though. 'cause
Do
I
you
was
feel
like,
strong when you wear that? Like when you take it off, you're like, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. I took
Really?
I took them off that night or afternoon before I left, and I literally could. It's like I picked my legs up, and I'm like, they feel light. But dude, I wore 26 pounds all day on just my body, and I put it on like a bulletproof vest. I had my undershirt, and then I put my vest on, then put my work shirt over it.
Yeah.
Dude, I look so flipping goofy.
Dude, I'd wear like a 50-pound SWAT vest all day,
Yeah,
8-hour shift training,
yeah.
and I would take that thing off, and it felt like you had to hold me down. I felt like I was like, because God, that SWAT vest sucked.
Well-
And the rifle, and oh my
The
God,
only
the ammo.
thing I think bad about it is walking. Over time, you're compressing your spine so bad.
That's
'cause
true.
All the weight on it.
That's true.
But I felt pretty good. But before, like at work, I took my shirt off, put the vest on, and put the work shirt. When I first got to work, I'd had it on over my work shirt, and I had that little blue normal basic hat on. I walked inside the office. Dude I worked with looked at me and was like, dude, you looking like Stryker from Mortal Kombat.
Striker. The cop.
Threw the grenades.
baton,
Yeah, threw the grenades out and just,
Oh my God. Because you had the vest on
Yeah.
and the blue hat.
yeah.
That's funny.
He
So
said-
if you had the fingerless gloves, man, you'd be on
He
point.
said, I could, he's like, he just started laughing. He's like, I can't handle you come in here looking like Stryker. And I was like, yeah, baby, finish you.
Really sure.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Stryker.
But yeah, I wore that all day, and I was like, I'm going to do this because I know I'm going to take a lot of steps, and I won't have to run when I get home. Dude, today I got home, and I was like, let me not. And I for some odd reason, I'm not really wearing my vest on Fridays, like because normally I get on. But then I also yesterday I added more weight.
Well, you want to see the difference. You want to feel the difference on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I added, I'm up to, I think I'm up to 30 pounds now in my vest.
That's impressive, dude.
Yeah. And I
30
normally
pounds is a
run.
lot.
Yeah. But today I didn't wear the vest, and I was like, clicked it on. I start out again 3 miles an hour for the first 10th. And then I click it to 5.5, and I was running. I was watching my little show. And after, like, it's a mental fight, dude. My mental fight's like, this is so boring because I'm pretty good with my breathing now. I get in a rhythm with my breath. So I'm not really, like, out of breath, but it's just like a little rhythm. I count in my head and everything. It's like 1, 2, 3, breathe in, 1, 2, 3, out. And so eventually I get in that rhythm where I'm not even doing it. And then I was like, I looked down, I was a mile, it was 1.1 miles in. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do another mile. This is boring. So I was like, you know what? clicked up to 6 miles an hour, and that's when my legs really have to. I'm not really jogging anymore. I'm kind of real straight legging it. Ran a mile like that, and I got a little bit out of breath because
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
keep pushing yourself.
Yeah, and so I was
look at me telling you how to do it.
Yeah, and so when I got off, I was dripping wet, because last Friday I told you I got on and ran a mile. I wasn't even out of breath. I got off. I wasn't sweating hardly or anything. So I was like, yeah, let me. So today I was like, you know what, this is getting pretty boring. Click it up.
You tried running without treadmills? Does it feel different?
No, I haven't done that. I just get on the treadmill just because I don't like being outside, bro.
No, I got you.
I got people looking at me for real.
Yeah. I like that though.
No.
Hi.
But I wonder what if I got out of my driveway and I turned right and I run all the way down to the lake.
I don't know how far that'd be. Probably back and forth is probably a mile and 0.3.
Well, I think Leslie told me whenever we turn off of the main road onto our road, from the main road down to the lake is 75 basically percent out of 100 of being a mile, like
3/4 of it,
3/4 of it, yeah. And so, but then I was also thinking, well, what if I turn down the other campsite road and run all the way down there, down to that little walking trail, because it cul-de-sacs, and then I run and then I take a right out of that, run to the lake, run up to the main road, and then I also have that other road.
You're probably getting close to like 1.5 miles.
If I run down that, come up, and then by the time I get back to my driveway, is that 2 miles? If I run all them roads.
Well, when you tell my dog.
Get in a car and do mileage 0.
No, go run it.
No,
go run it. Have the girl ride bicycles behind you.
No, bro. Well, she can't ride.
Yeah, my boy can't either. Girl can.
I'm trying to teach her, but she's like, basically her attitude is if she's not a master at it, she's not even going to practice it. And it's like, come on now.
You got to suck before you get good.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother, he taught his son how to ride a bike, but he said he watched a video where this woman that teaches how to ride bikes, and she said, like, how did you learn how to ride a bike? Did anybody teach you, or did you get on and fail?
Figured it out.
Okay. Well, my dad taught me in South Carolina, and he always held under the seat and would walk with me under the seat. Well, I was trying to do that with my daughter, and my brother, he watched that video. He said, no, what you do is you hold up under their arms, because they're like this, so you reach your arms up, and you give them just enough balance to where they're not falling over, but that makes them learn the balance of how the bike is, because if you're holding on to the bike's fixed, and then they're not learning that it's going to sway, and they're not learning that balance. So he said that woman said to hold them right up under their arms and walk with them. You know, your legs are going in between the back tires going in between your legs, because they're not going to be like, you know, you just kind of walk with them. He said he done that with his son. Within 30 minutes, his son knew how to ride a bike. Now,
my little nephew, Jet, 3 years old, man, he was riding. No training was nothing. Jumping ramps.
Oh, wow.
He's crazy, though. He is something else.
Oh, he's a boy, too.
He's a boy. He's all boy. He's wild. But his dad, my brother-in-law, he rides motorcycles and jumps hills. And so he's like, do it. And he's like, right. You know?
It's got on it, huh?
Yeah, he's crazy. But I love that kid. He's funny as crap. He's full of it. It's funny. Can't wait to get a little older. Him, me, and the boy can hang out. It'd be wild. But Ash and Burnz
hour and a half
podcast, brought to you by the letter B, Bigfoot, and the letter S, Samsqanch. Poor service, bad pizza, sweet tea.
First thing that come to my head, you're like, brought to you by the letter B, as in, better have my money.
That's right, Ash and Burnz Podcast. Nobody watches this, but you know what? We don't care. We do it for ourselves. Put us on the background. Use this one little appendage you have here, and use like not even 1 pound of pressure, and hit like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And just have us play in the background. Turn it down. Just helps us out. If you don't, you're pretty much a loser. Only the cool kids like this stuff. Look, I got a cowboy hat on. Jesus, I don't get it,
I
man.
get the Alabama.
Alabama, Texas, or Mexico.
North Kakalaki.
I think North Carolina's going to wear. What is our hat?
Probably the coonskin hat.
Probably. You're probably right.
Daniel Boone.
You're probably right.
Wasn't he around here? Daniel Boone?
I don't know.
No, I think
Might
he
be
was more
Virginia.
west. Yeah, probably Virginia.
I don't know.
Old Paul Bunyan.
You know what? Ma'am.
He's Midwestern.
Howdy. I don't know what North Carolina's hat would be. Like, I think down south, I think it's straw hats with, like the grass in your mouth. Like, hey, Huckleberry Finn.
Probably a hat that squats.
Hat that what?
A hat that squats. Like the trucks around here. So flipping retarded.
Well, it's funny about a cowboy hat. You can wear it like this and be like, howdy, y'all. Or you can wear it like this and you're like, howdy, y'all. You just.
Yeah, that's Texas.
That's North Carolina now, baby boy.
Sure.
Ash and Burnz at ash&burnz@gmail.com. Accordingtoplans at gmail.com. Think about that for a second. Like, subscribe. Tell your mama we're doing fine. We'll be over to see her tonight. Or maybe tomorrow night. Depends. And that's it.
Yeah.
Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button. There we go. Samsqanch.